class will be the one that was supposed to be the full class on Sunday, but the Zoom thing happened. So it'll be focusing on backbends and hamstrings. And I'm excited because I just really like the way I set up this class. And I hate to, you know, compliment myself weird, but I don't know. I like doing it. I hope you like the class too. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. I think you're all muted anyways, but just making sure. Double checking some security features. We will not have any Zoom bombers. All right, playlist time. So go ahead, grab your playlist. First song is a dancing song. So we're playing the first song, Devil's Plaything, in 3, 2, and go. Cool. So grab a blanket, or you can use your block too, but it'd be really nice if you had a blanket. It's just a little more forgiving. When we do this next stretch, we're just stretching out the calves a little bit. So just maybe grab one off your couch behind you and just fold it up a couple times so it's about this thick. I know this is different for you on your screen, but about, you know, let's say 4 inches thick. And then we're gonna put it down on our mat. Otherwise, you can just use a block. It's just a little more intense of a stretch if you use the block. So we're starting just with our heel on the floor and the upper part of our foot on the blanket or block. Little bend in the knee, just slowly pressing forward and back. Yeah, just kind of shifting forward and back with one foot. And try the other foot. Heel on the floor, upper part of the foot on the blanket. Now bring both feet to the blanket, heels on the floor. You can bring a little bend in the knees. You can try to straighten the legs if it feels good. You can either stay lifted or start to forward fold down to the floor, bringing the fingertips down, dropping the head down, big sigh out through the mouth. Start to bend one knee at a time. Just stay here and breathe. Take about 4 more breaths in this pose. We're not in a rush today. I'm gonna turn my music down a little, make sure you don't hear it. All right. Nice. From here, let's come down onto our knees, sitting on the heels. I'm gonna turn and face you. And we're gonna take that rolled up blanket. You don't have to do this if you don't have the blanket or block, it's okay. And I'm gonna lift up my knees and slide the blanket under the knees. And you should feel a stretch on the top of the feet. So we're kind of just continuing the stretch on the top of the legs, or we're gonna continue that in our straddle next pose. Maybe you take your hand and lift one knee just an inch off the floor more at a time. Yeah, stretching the tops of the feet. And let your knees settle down into the blanket. If it ever feels like too much, you can just remove the blanket. We're bringing the hands to our knees, inhaling, taking a back bend, looking up. With an exhale, we're rounding, cat pose. Inhale, back bend. Close the eyes, exhale, round. At your own pace, continuing this cat-cow, as light or exaggerated as you'd like. Just inviting the movement into your spine. Take a couple more rounds. And we're finding a neutral spine, keeping your hands on your knees. Just turn your chin and head over to the right. So don't move your back, don't move your shoulders. Just the chin and the head. Looking all the way over to the right. Lower the shoulders. Looking forward slowly, looking over to the left. Chin over towards that left shoulder. Feeling a nice stretch across the right side of the neck, right underneath the ear, right underneath the jawbone. Looking forward slowly, round the tailbone underneath, and then drop the head back. Slowly lift the chin up and drop the chin down to chest. You can even interlace your hands and then just bring them behind your head, encouraging this movement. Take 2 breaths. Nice. Remove the hands, remove the blanket. Whew. Definitely need to remove the blanket now. Let's move it to the side. And from here, let's tuck the toes. Oh, that was a deep stretch. Tuck the toes and sit down on the heels for a moment. Just undoing that stretch a little bit off the top of the feet. Nice. From here, we're going to take a half straddle. So we can start with our feet out in front of us. We're going to take our right foot, bend the knee, and bring the foot over to the right side. So it's bent, knee bent. If this feels like too much, you can lean into your left side, left hip. So you're kind of coming out of this right side. Otherwise, you're sitting up nice and tall to start. If you have your strap and you want to use it, you can. Otherwise, we're going to reach up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold over the left leg. Grab the foot, the shin, the thigh, the strap, whatever you have. Let's start by lifting the chin up towards the big left toe. And then we're going to exhale, bring the chin to chest, nice round spine. Let's do a couple cat-cows here. Inhale to look toward the toes. Exhale to look down at the thigh. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Walk the hands up and bring the hands back behind you. I love doing these little tricep dips from behind your back. We're going to bend the elbows and lower the back a little bit and press down and lift the chest up. Down and press. Keep doing this at your own pace, trying to make the elbows point backwards and not really out to the sides. At first, it might not feel like a lot of work, but I really want you to press down into the floor while you do this. Let's do 4 more at your own pace. Nice. Switching sides, kick out the right foot, and tuck that left leg to the left side, knee bent. Again, you can lean to the right to come out of this pose a little bit. Go ahead and grab your strap if you want it, lifting the arms up otherwise. Exhale, forward fold, grabbing the right foot, shin or thigh, lifting the chin, and looking forward. Taking an inhale, and then an exhale to round the spine. Inhale, looking forward, exhale to round. Continuing this cat-cow at your own pace. Take a couple more rounds, really flexing those right toes up toward the sky. Nice, let's bring the hands back and behind you. Same thing as the other side. So fingertips pointing in, elbows pointing back, and we're bending down and pressing up. Doing this at your own pace. If you want to do it really slow, use a lot of strength. You're really pressing down into the floor, pressing down even as you come down toward the floor. You can do it a little bit faster. Let's do 4 more. And slowly release. Let's have that left leg come forward. Feet can come together. Arms lift up, exhale, forward fold, grabbing the feet, shins or thighs. Inhale, flatten the back, look forward. Exhale, round the spine. Nice. Let's start to come up, bending the left knee. Let's grab that left foot, crossing the hands over each other and grabbing the outsides of that left foot with each hand. Remember which arm is on top, so when we switch sides, we do the opposite. Flex both feet and press that left foot up in the air. Knee can be very bent. Nice. You can try and straighten the leg a little bit, maybe just doing little tiny presses, but not locking it if you don't think you can get there. Maybe just little straightens. Straightens, that's a word I just made up. Lower the shoulders down if you can. Lift the chin up even higher. Slowly bend the knee, lower it down, switching sides. Bend the right knee, switch the hands, and grab the outside of the right foot. Kick that right foot up in the air. Flexing the toes, shoulders roll down. Sometimes when I'm teaching class with the Zoom, I forget that I'm teaching a yoga class, then I'm just like, oh, this is a nice pose. I'm like, oh crap, you guys are here too. Nice. Maybe you're doing that little press with the knee just to see if you can get there. And let's slowly lower down. Again, one more forward fold. Just rounding the spine or looking forward, whatever feels good for you. Nice. From here, we're going to come down onto our bellies, staying on the floor for now, just for a second, coming into Sphinx pose. So kind of like we're just hanging out on our forearms, but we're having a nice little back bend here, palms on the floor. If you want to walk the elbows underneath the shoulders, you'll have a little deeper back bend. The further away your arms are, the less deep the back bend is, so it's really up to you. I'm going to draw my elbows in a little closer. Press the hands down, look forward. Without moving my shoulders, I'm going to look to my right shoulder and see if I can, just with my peripheral vision, see my back feet. Maybe you see that left foot even by looking over your right shoulder. And switch sides slowly, looking over the left shoulder. Maybe you see that right foot looking over the left side. Looking forward, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press up to tabletop. And then we're getting ready for downward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, pressing down into the floor. There's about 4 inches between your 2 big toes. Just finding a little bit of stillness here. Pressing down. Maybe you find your movement if you like that. Pedaling out the heels or looking side to side. Maybe both at the same time. Now we find stillness together, bringing the left foot to the center of the mat, inhaling the right leg. Let's start by keeping the hip closed, pointing the toes down to the floor. Then we're going to point the toes to the right side of your room. Lift the hip even more and open it. You can bend the knee if you like to. Good. Close the hip, draw the knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up and open. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and open. Knee to nose, step it through. Lower the left knee down. Lower the left knee down. Swing the arms up. If you like to untuck the back left toes, you can. Take a breath and stay here. Nice. Switching sides, hands come down, step the right foot back, downward facing. Right foot comes to the center, left leg lifts, but first we close the hip, toes pointed down. Then we point the toes to the left side of your room, and we open the hip even more. Bend the knee if you'd like. Knee comes in towards nose, then exhale. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, open. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Low lunge, right knee lowers. Sweep the arms up. You can untuck the back right toes. Shoulders lower down. And breathe here. Maybe you take a moment to find your focal point for class. Usually I pick a few, just depending on what kind of pose I'm doing. Hands come down, downward facing dog. We're gonna lift that right leg up to the sky. We're gonna step it through. Between the hands, lower the left knee down. Now from here, we're gonna shift forward and back from that half split, that hamstring stretch right here, with the right toes lifted, coming back to the low lunge. Doing this at your own pace. It can be really nice to do this pose with your eyes closed, with the music turned all the way up. And you're just moving forward and back to the beat. Maybe when you come through to the low lunge, you lift the head looking up, exaggerating a little back bend in the upper spine. And when you come through the hamstring stretch, you look down or at your left thigh. Let's take a few more. We're meeting in our low lunge, so right foot down. From here, let's take a little twist. Bring both hands over to the right side. Maybe bring that left arm to the right side of the right thigh. So hands are tented to the right of your right foot. You might be able to even reach with the left hand, or that's my right hand. Right hand, maybe even grab that left thigh. Nice. Let's come out of this. Line the front right foot, step it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose and steps all the way through. Right knee lowers down. From here, we're doing the same thing. Hips move up and back. Left toes lift up. Half split, hamstring stretch. Exhale back to our lunge. Open the head or open the back bend here, the chest, looking up. Exhale back, lifting left toes. Continuing this at your own pace. It's a really nice song to move to. Let's take one more together, meeting in our lunge. Same thing as the other side, both hands come to the left side of the left leg, crossing over to the other side if you can. If you can reach back with the left hand, try and grab that right thigh, just hooked around the side. Nice. Both hands to the front, downward facing dog, looking forward, and just step one foot then the other, forward fold. Bending one knee at a time. Inhale to halfway lift, bring your hands to your shins and look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, slowly roll to rise. Inhaling the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hug the belly in. Shoulders lower down. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold, sun A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, one foot back, then the next, plank pose. Inhale to stay. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Take 4 breaths to stay in downward facing. Externally rotating the arms. Hugging the elbows a little closer together. It'll help you externally rotate. Press down toward the heels. Look forward and step forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, slowly rise. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sit down into chair pose, Utkatasana, lift the arms up. Interlace the hands and press the palms away. Lower the shoulders. Hug the belly in. Release the hands. Sit down lower, lift the toes. Let's lift the right foot up, step it back for warrior 2. Open the arms. Good. Shoulders lower down. Roll out the wrists a couple times. Maybe take a moment to look down at your left foot, checking your alignment. Alignment is always talked about during yoga classes, at least if they teach an Iyengar style, which is a style of yoga. But I don't really think alignment is necessarily important in terms of the health of your body all the time. I think it has more to do with your awareness of your body and what your body feels and looks like while it moves. So if your heel isn't perfectly in a line with your toe or the middle of your foot, doesn't mean you're going to hurt yourself. It just means, it's that is there for you to be more aware of what your body feels and looks like. There are, of course, certain things that are meant to keep you safe, but the majority of things like that are meant to bring awareness to your practice. Let's get lower here. Maybe walk the feet away from each other, get deeper. And reverse your warrior, flip the left palm. We're coming into side angle pose, left forearm down, right arm up. Maybe you see yourself in your camera, you see your right fingertips making a long straight line all the way down to your right heel. Make sure you can fit like a tennis ball size, or at least your fist size, between the left shoulder and the left ear, maybe even taking your right fist and just seeing if that happens there. If you're leaning too far in, you kind of lose that space, so press into that forearm and create space between your ear and shoulder. You can always drop the right arm down behind the back. You can take your bind. You can take a half bind by just dropping the hand behind the back. See if you can grab that left thigh and be crawling in towards the inner left thigh. Maybe you take it a step further, lifting the left arm up. Good. All right, from here, we're going back to warrior 2. If you've taken that longer warrior 2, let's just inch that back foot a little closer. We're looking forward and we're stepping forward back to our chair. We're switching sides. I'm going to turn around so I don't face the back of the room the whole time. From our chair pose, we're stepping the left foot back, warrior 2. Same thing. Maybe getting a little deeper in our warrior 2, separating the feet. Arms are strong. Pay extra attention to that back arm so it doesn't bend down and kind of sink. It stays nice and strong with the front arm. Look down your right arm. at that focal point. Don't forget to breathe. Stay here. Flip the right palm, reverse. With an exhale, side angle pose, right forearm to right thigh, left arm reaches up. Separate the fingers while you're here, bringing energy into all ends of your body. Bring attention into your fingers all the way down to your toes. Taking your bind if you want it, half bind, full bind. You don't have to have the bind to do this pose. Reaching the right arm off that right thigh. Bring your obliques into this. Nice. So open back to warrior two. Looking forward, step the left foot, chair pose. And again, I'm going to turn the other way because we're going to do it again. Similar but different. Right foot steps back, warrior two. A little bit faster this time. Arms are strong. Let's reverse. Inhale. From here, we're coming into triangle pose. So start to straighten that left leg. You don't have to totally lock the knee. And then lean down with the left hand, reach the right arm up. You can put your block underneath your left hand or just grab your mat, your ankle, your shin. Reach that right arm even higher, looking up towards the right fingers. Nice. Reach the right hand back behind you, pull yourself up with an imaginary rope, warrior two to warrior one to stepping forward chair. Again, I'm gonna switch sides. From your chair pose, same thing, other side, warrior two, step the left foot back. Reverse, right arm lifts. Start to straighten that right knee. Trikonasana, triangle pose, right hand comes down, left arm lifts. Nice. Take a breath, don't forget to breathe. Looking up and looking down. Reach back with that left hand, pull yourself up with that rope, warrior two to warrior one to stepping forward chair. From chair pose, we're taking little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the feet wide, toes pointed apart, pointed away from each other. There we go. Sitting down, Malasana, squat pose. You can use your block underneath your sit bones here. You can just breathe and close your eyes. If you feel like taking a little bit of an arm balance, you can take your crow pose. Just take a few breaths. I'm gonna switch sides. Press down, forward fold, lift the hips. Point the toes forward, bending one knee at a time. From here, we're taking the right foot, we're just stepping it back, just for pyramid pose. So my feet aren't too far apart. They're not the way they'd be in warrior two. They're like half the distance or 3/4. Right foot's at a 45-degree angle, left toes pointing forward. If you have your blocks, they can be next to your left foot. You can also lift up, kind of do the classic power yoga way of doing it, which is hands come behind you into the opposite prayer position behind your back. And then you fold down with a flat back. I don't find it super necessary to do that with the hands. I just like to bring my hands down to the floor, tent my fingers, and round my spine. The real focus here is in the left hamstrings. Nice. Start to bend the left knee. Walk the hands to the right. We're taking a bend to the right side of our mat. So toes are going to point in, heels further apart, and we're just forward folding between the legs. Head and hands drop down. You want to grab your ankles, you can. Deepening your forward fold, drawing the chest further down. Lifting the tailbone will make the stretch even deeper. Let's turn our heads over to the right, looking behind us, and looking over to the left, looking in front of the mat. Nice. Let's walk the hands over to the left foot. Take a low lunge, right knee lowers down, hands to hips. Nice back bend here. Draw the shoulders together, elbows point back behind you. Start to look up. Nice, hands come down. Let's step that right foot forward. Switching sides, left foot steps back, pyramid pose. So left foot's at that 45-degree angle. If you want to come through that power yoga way, you can. Hands behind you, in that prayer position behind your back. Forward fold. Doesn't really matter though, you can just have your hands down behind besides your right foot. As long as you feel it behind the leg, you're doing the pose right. You don't have to have the knee locked here. You can always bring a bend to the knee, little bend, big bend. And from here, bend the right knee if it's not. Step the left foot further back, walk the hands to the left, and point the toes in towards each other. Again, we're doing another forward fold. Sorry for the view. If you want to do your headstand, if you're just trying to practice your headstand, maybe you already have it to some degree, go for it. Take a breath. Everyone, let's meet back. Hands walk over to the right foot, point the right toes forward, left knee lowers. We're coming back into our lunge, hands to hips, and back bend. Draw the shoulders together, looking up. Nice. Hands come down. Let's just take that right foot, bring it back behind you. It doesn't have to look pretty. Let's come all the way down onto our bellies. We're going to do locust pose next. We're going to start with our arms by our sides, elbows bent in goalpost arms. We're going to start by pressing the feet down into the floor, the tops of the feet, lifting the chest. That's something that my teacher, David Vendetti, would always say before this pose is, if you have sticky outy bits for genitalia, you can reach your hand down and tuck it underneath so you're not laying on top, okay? That's just a little fun tip for you. We're gonna lift the arms up by our sides, palms facing down, lift the chest, press the tops of the feet down to the floor. Surprisingly, you feel it in the core if you're lifting up high enough. Feeling it in the core is good. It means you're not feeling it too much in the lower back. Let's extend the arms and reach forward. Exhale to bend the elbows. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach. Bend. Let's do two more. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Exhale. Nice. Lower the chest down. Now let's reach back behind us and either just reaching back towards the back of the room or interlacing the hands, coming into that full locust, reaching the chest up and the legs. We're going to hold and reach up for 5, 4, 3, squeeze the glutes, 2, and 1, slowly lower down. Stack the hands, make a pillow, move your hips side to side. We're going to do another locust pose. This time, we're going to interlace the hands the opposite way that we did before. Probably will feel very weird. Open the chest. Again, if you don't want to interlace the arms, it doesn't feel good, you can use a strap or just reach back. Go ahead and lift the legs. We're lifting, For 5, 4, 3, even higher, 2, even higher, 1, highest, and lower down, stack the hands, pillow. Move the hips left and right. Next pose is up to you. You can either do another bow pose. If you're feeling like, oh my God, my back just doesn't want to do any more back bends, you can stay in your Sphinx and just do a very light back bend here with the option of pressing down into one hand and looking back, pressing down into the other hand underneath the shoulder and looking back, or you can come into bow pose. The way you come into bow pose is you start to bend the knees. Let's start reaching back with the right hand first. We're gonna reach back, palm facing away from us, thumb facing up toward the sky. Grab the inner right shin. So let's not grab the foot, let's grab all the way down at the shin. Same thing with the left. From here, we're gonna press the legs into the hands and lift the chest. See if you can point the toes. Dad, come here. Help me with this pose. Come on. Let's hold and lift for 3, 2, and 1. Turn the head to one side. And turn the head to the other side. Nice. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press up to tabletop. And let's come into child's pose for a moment after doing that deep back bend. Arms can reach forward or go back by your sides. Take a moment to breathe. Nice, slowly rise. Swing the legs around and come onto your back. From here, we're taking bridge pose, pressing the feet down into the floor, lifting the hips. Pressing the arms down by your sides. Lifting the toes. Let's do little pulses to the music. You can do it slow or fast. Do 10 more at your own pace. And stay lifted. Slowly lower down. From here, you're either taking another bridge pose, which is what we just did, or we're coming into our wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. So our hands come behind our ears if you're doing the wheel pose. Elbows pointing up towards the sky. Press and lift. Good. You can play with this if that feels good for you. Bring the feet closer together. Maybe draw one knee up. You can try walking the feet further away from you so the knees aren't as bent. And slowly to come down, really bring the chin to chest. Come down slow. Whew. Bring the knees to chest. Good job. Rock the knees side to side. Being nice to your lower back. Let's do one more of those. Either you're coming back into your bridge. You can also take a supported bridge by sliding a block underneath your sacrum between your lower spine and your tailbone. Otherwise, we're coming into our wheel pose again. Come up when you're ready, pressing and lifting. Breathe here. Let's see if we can stay for 5 more breaths. I know it's a lot. Come down when you need to. Squeeze the glutes, really press into the heels. When you're ready, come down, chin tucks to chest, very important. Knees to chest, bending in. Rock a little side to side. Let's take a happy baby. Feels really nice again to round the spine after doing back bends. Flexing the feet up towards the sky. You can rock a little here as well. Nice. Let's take a lying figure 4. Right foot over the left thigh, interlacing on top of that left shin or under the left thigh. Drawing that left knee in a little closer. Something to remember. I know I'm saying this as we finish up just about, but it's also something that's true for, your everyday life, not just yoga. If you're breathing, if you're doing your best, you're doing it. I mean, you don't have to, this is especially true right now, you don't have to be doing like these super amazing things or these super amazing poses to be doing the yoga or to be, living your life to the fullest. You don't have to be doing that headstand or that scorpion pose, or you don't have to create some new artwork, you don't have to create a new album during this time. If you're breathing, if you're doing your best, then you're doing great. Switch sides, left foot over right thigh. Especially with yoga, if you're breathing in yoga, you're already doing it great. I'm always forgetting to breathe in yoga, which is so ironic. It takes a long time to have it be just constant and natural feeling. Nice. Both knees into chest. Hug them in nice and tight. I didn't have anything else planned for today, but if you had another back bend you wanted to do, feel free to do that. I know some people like to do dancer's pose. Maybe you want to do another one of those bridges, or you want to do another wheel pose. Maybe you want to do more hamstring stretches by kicking the feet up into the hands. Be kind of fun to rock forward and back here as well and to plow. And when you're ready, we come all the way down for Shavasana corpse pose. My knees are open tonight. I feel like I need the hip opener. So I'm doing Supta Baddha Konasana. You can just lay flat or join me here with the knees open, feet together. Palms are facing up. Just letting the music wash over you, slowing you down a bit. Noticing your breath. Noticing those moments in between your inhales and exhales. Noticing how your back feels on the floor. Noticing if your chest feels a little more open Noticing if your thoughts start to wander. You can just gently draw your focus back in to your body. Trying not to bring the criticism back into your mind. Not taking everything so seriously with this practice. We're just stretching. We're just trying to find a little bit of mindfulness today. It's never about perfection. It's just about the practice. Your knees are open. Let's slowly take the hands and close the knees. Turn to one side on your shoulder. Push yourself up. Let's all find a seat. Otherwise, you can stay down if you're just feeling super comfy on the floor. Sitting up tall. Inhale, lift the arms. Hands come down to heart center. All of the community of people that surround you in this class are not right next to you. We all are here together, doing this practice together, experiencing this movement and moment together. Maybe noticing that energy of community. And feeling gratitude to yourself for coming to your mat today, and for everyone else for joining you. The light and dark in me loves and honors the light and dark in you, and together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to class. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe. We always put new videos out every week. For everyone on Zoom, thanks so much for coming live. It means so much that you come every week and that you support my little business if you can. So I guess I think I announced everything at the beginning of class.